Aloha and welcome to the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. I'm your host, Murph. Joining us in the studio today is Mr. Dan Messner. Some of you may have remember his name from another podcast where he beat me in a golf tournament and harassed me by wanting me to hold his medal on the ride home. So welcome, Dan. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
It's awesome to have you here. Before we get started, let me say this. We played golf today, and Dan, myself, and Travis Barnes played golf today at Mamala Bay. And unfortunately, I won't have a Spam Musubi rating for you guys on this show because I didn't eat a Spam Musubi. I had a hot dog instead. So, but anyhow, we played golf today, and these guys invited me. So we played a little friendly game, $20 skins, $5 card game for best poker hand at the end. And then we played 5-5-5 Nassau match stroke play. So I got lucky enough that I beat him. So I took a little bit of money from him. But then I kind of felt bad about taking money from Dan because the guy, I've been driving his truck all week because my Jeep has been down. And here he's letting me use his vehicle, and then I take money from him at the golf course. I apologize, Dan. I probably shouldn't have taken money from you today.
No need to apologize. No, it's good. I'm kind of used to it. It just makes it, when I take your money, that much sweeter.
And I do got to say, thank you again. He came over tonight to do the show, but before he did the show, he was like, let's get your Jeep fixed. So he ended up fixing my Jeep. So now I owe him for that too. So Dan, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for helping me today. Not only that, guys, but Dan is a wonder at a whiz at making all kinds of different stuff. He's made little coasters for the studio that has the Murph's Place 808 podcast logo, my artwork. He's made these coasters for me. These are awesome. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. He's also, I've talked about the VGA tournament in the past. He's also made some ball markers and some tee markers for that. So, and he's doing it all free. No charge for the guys. I know I appreciate you doing that kind of stuff, and I'm sure they do too.
Well, I enjoy it, and I would think you use some pretty strong words there about my skill set in it. I'm just learning at it, but it has been fun. It's enjoyable.
Well, it looks like you've been doing it a long time, the quality of work you're putting out. It doesn't look like you're some beginner just throwing your hands at it and see what happens.
Well, I did. It's just kind of pre-COVID. Like right when COVID started, I ordered the machine and decided I needed to have something to do if I was going to be locked in. So
yeah.
But no, I enjoy it, and I'm glad you enjoy your coasters.
Yeah, those are nice. Those are nice.
The first coasters I made, so I ordered the cork, and that's what came out.
They're awesome. They look great. I love them. So obviously, when I have people on the show, I always ask them about their golf background. Obviously, you play golf. When did you start playing golf? Did you start at a young age when you were a young kid, or did you start later?
I started at 14. I was actually a fill-in the first time I ever played golf with my uncle, who worked for Bandag, and they had a tournament every year. Bandag was a retread tire company in Iowa, and they had a guy cancel out, and he stopped by the house and drugged me out and said, come on, at least you can drive the cart. And I went out there with them, and they drank a lot, and I swung a lot, and I just fell in love with that day. I think it was a week later I went to Walmart, a brand new open Walmart back when they first started coming out, and bought my first set of golf clubs, a set of Deltas that was their name brand, I guess, at the time, the bag in the box. And
Yeah.
So I started playing jumping fences to be honest with you, at a muni course. Just kind of jumped the fence on the 7th hole, and just they got so used to it, they never said anything to me. Just tried to play golf, and I joined the golf team in high school as a freshman. So that was my only real training. I didn't do any good at it. I think I guess the highlight of my first 2 years of golf was I got a hole-in-one when I duffed it off par 3 downhill.
Oh, nice.
That was my first hole-in-one. But I enjoyed it. And so I kind of took it up then, and then I joined the Army, and I discovered alcohol and travel. And so I played a lot of drinking games instead of golfing, but I kept golfing for a few years, and then I quit for about 17 years. I walked away, and I started back about 6.5 years ago, I guess now.
Oh, really?
I started playing golf again.
So you played a little bit in high school.
Very little bit, yeah. Freshman and sophomore year, and then I moved to Colorado. They were real serious, and I was from a little town. My graduating class was 26 people. In Iowa, we weren't so serious. But in Colorado, they were serious.
Yeah.
So I didn't get involved very much.
Yeah. Have you ever taken any lessons from a pro or anything like that?
No, just my golf instructor. When I first started playing, our golf teacher, who was also our biology teacher. He was our golf coach, and he kind of worked us around a little bit. Didn't really get into it. He wasn't very serious either. But we just had a team, and it was fun, and it was what it was. So no instructions at all.
Right.
A lot of criticism, but no instruction.
Well, so 6 years ago, you picked it back up and started playing again.
Yeah.
Do you maintain a handicap?
Yes.
And what's your handicap right now?
I'm 5.5 index, so I'm right at 5.5, 6.
And when you were playing before, what was your average score back then? You probably didn't have a handicap back then.
Yeah, no handicap. I don't even know that I played legal golf. So I would say somewhere around 100.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, on a good day.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun just to go beat the ball.
Well, obviously, for not having any instruction I was the same way. I got all my instruction from Golf Digest, Golf Magazine. That's all I would do. I'd just read those, and then I'd go out to the range and practice what I read. And you being in this kind of same boat, I don't know if you read the magazines or not, but you being in the same boat, starting back up 6 years and you're down to a single-digit handicap now, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It's been a lot of work, a lot of practice, a lot of commitment to learning how to play the game, and most of it is I read a lot online. I watched a lot of videos online. When I first came back into golf, it was more about getting something to do. I quit drinking, I quit smoking, I quit a lot of different things all at one time, and I needed something to fill my time. So I picked up golf again, and immediately fell back in love with it, and that was the end of it for me. I went all in. My wife was committed to it. I had my neck fused, and I needed to get back out and play shortly after I started playing because she saw the enjoyment. She bought me an electric cart to walk, because riding the cart was even more damaging to my neck than walking.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went all in, and then Thanksgiving 5 years ago, she bought me a SkyTrack.
Oh, the simulator, yeah.
Simulator.
Yeah, you showed me that at your house the other day. That's a sweet setup you got down there.
Yeah, so she bought me a simulator, and it was mainly because of winter in Arkansas, and I had a 2,800 square foot steel building that I built a sim room. That's all it was for. It had air conditioning, heat, blacked out walls, dimming lights. It was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. It was a real oasis to get out and play golf in the middle of the winter. I got real committed, and I investigated shafts, and I investigated lofts and lies, bought a loft lie machine so that I could bend my own clubs and see what it did. Kind of an engineering background, so those things kind of made more sense. Once I got vested in it and really started understanding all the dynamics of the shaft, the metals, the grip size, I was able to change my clubs to fit me rather than, go 50 miles and have somebody tell me what they want me to buy.
Right, yeah.
So I really got involved in it, like 3 days in a row after work, I'd just hit golf balls, all the different golf balls, just to get all the data off of them, the spin rates, the distances with pitching wedges and gap wedges, just so that I knew what I could get my best control.
Right.
So I everything down to the ball, to the grip size, I blow on, off and on grips all the time, just to, my wedges are oversized, my regular clubs are mid-sized, and my driver and 3-woods and 5-wood is a regular size grip, and it's all based upon a reasoning of what I learned on my simulator.
All the data that you collected from hitting balls on your simulator and finding out those different spin race flights and everything.
Yeah.
So do you do that kind of work for other people? Like, say, like for your buddies or whatever. Hey, Dan, can you throw a shaft in this club for me? Can you?
Absolutely. anything to do with golf, I'm pretty much available. You know, I built my own shaft puller for the graphite shafts because I didn't like the little rinky ones that were for sale. So I built one that's a little more robust to make sure that the shaft tip is pulled off correctly so that it doesn't break the fibers in the shaft and destroy it. So yeah, I mean, whatever anybody needs.
Yeah, when I was at
try it, we'll do it.
Yeah, when I was at your house the other day, man, all that stuff you could actually set up your own little golf shop. It's crazy.
Yeah, and when I moved here, because I've been on island now for about a year and a couple months, I guess. When I moved here, I probably got rid of 4 times that amount of shafts.
Wow.
Just because, like I told you, when I went in, I got vested. I mean, I would try a shaft. If it didn't work, I'd pull it, and I'd go put another one in it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to understand the ball flight, and I wanted to understand what's going to make Dan better. Because every golf swing is different. Every person is different. Look at me. I'm 5'5". You're, what, 6'2"?
Yeah.
Your clubs aren't going to work for me. Your lofts and your lies are not going to work for me. So when I started really digging into it and understanding it for myself personally, it made a lot of sense to me, you know, and I enjoy it. My lofts on my clubs are totally different than what they came in. I mean, they are made from my gaps. So my gaps are filled. I don't really go for distance anymore. That's not even in the equation for me. If people are hitting gap wedges and I'm hitting a 7-iron, as long as I hit that 7-iron the way I need to,
right?
That's what's important.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, as long as you hit your clubs the way you need to hit them, it doesn't matter what somebody else hits. I talked about this on another podcast. There's been times when, you know, I'm going to play a tournament or I'm playing a course and I'm playing against guys or whatever, and I have it mapped out in my head what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit 3-wood on this hole. And then the guys I'm playing with will pull out a driver, and then something in my head is like, hit driver. Right. So I don't stick to my game plan. I hit driver. So as long as you know what your clubs are going to do, and obviously you do with all the time that you invested in hitting balls and trying different shafts and all that kind of stuff, getting that data, you know what your clubs are going to do. So you know what to hit. And obviously that paid off for you this year, because when we come back, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about your win at the World Golf Amateur Handicap Championship Tournament in Myrtle Beach this year. So we'll be right back after this. Hey guys, I got to tell you, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you how. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Not only that, but Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other sites. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, Dan, like I said before the break, obviously all the work that you've put in, investing the time, hitting balls, trying different shafts, having your simulator where you can do all that stuff, and not having to go somewhere like Roger Dunn or any other place, Golf Tech or whatever, and get hooked up to their simulator and figure that stuff out. You have it right in your house, right in your basement.
That's correct.
That's perfect. And all that stuff paid off for you this year, because congratulations again, and I've told you this before, winning your flight at the World Amateur Handicap Championship, where there are...
Yeah, there was 2,300 people there this year.
And that was low this year, right?
Very low, 1,000 people low, maybe 1,200 low than the last time I was there.
Yeah,
18.
because they can get up to like 6,000 people playing that thing sometimes.
Yeah, it gets pretty large. They usually have about 6,000 people there, somewhere between 3,500 players. But spouses go and walk the courses with their spouses and things like that. All that was nixed this year, of course.
Yeah, so how was that with the COVID thing this year? How was the tournament? I've only played it one time, and that's been years ago. It is by far, in my opinion, the best tournament out there.
Oh, absolutely. This year it was really streamlined. We played 3-man tees. So we had tee times, which usually it's a shotgun. Secondly, we had three people in a group, and each person had their own individual cart. We were playing rounds of golf, tournament golf, and this is pretty high stress golf with a lot on the line, really, in 4 hours. We were getting 4 hours and done. And in previous years, the other 3 times that I've been there, it was more on the lines of 5, and sometimes you could push 6 hours with foursomes and shotgun start.
Wow.
So
is this year the first year you won?
I won second place last year, or seven. What was this year? 2018. I won second place in my flight.
Wow, awesome. That's great, man. Because people don't realize how that's a big time tournament. There's a lot of stress involved in playing tournaments like that. I didn't even come close to sniffing the top 5 spots. I think after the second or third day, I had a good round the second or third day, which pushed me up into like maybe 5th place. But then the last day, I just shit the bed and played like crap. So
yeah. The first year I went, I thought I knew how to play golf, and I had just played the club championship with my buddies, and fared pretty good. So I thought I was ready for some real tournament golf, and I'd heard about the tournament, and I said, I want to go do it. I'm going to put it on my bucket list. I'm going to do it and be done with it. And I went, and I was literally on the first tee. Sorry about the language, but shitting like a dog shitting razor blades. It was really, really nerve-wracking. Sitting there with 2 Canadians and a guy from Alaska. In my, you don't know these guys. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. And there's a lot on it.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about the tournament that I learned on the first year was probably the most I've ever learned about golf in competition. Just from the being ready, being physically ready, but more importantly, being mentally ready and having a game plan of knowing what you're going to do and being really, really ready. And what I did is...
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you go into it with, like I said before, about, there's times when, okay, I'm going to hit 3-wood on this hole, and then my guys I'm playing with hit driver, and then so I pull out driver. Did you have a plan like that, like how you were going to play the course?
Not really, because... I looked at every course. I studied every course as much as I could online, but I've never played them. So
you didn't play any practice rounds?
I did, but not at those courses.
Not those. Okay.
And I still do that when I go there. I don't make any tee times except for what they give me. So I'll go there and I'll play Saturday and Sunday. They have skins games, and that's more to get ready and loosened up and jet lagged over and understand the temperatures, and the grass is different there. The rough is different. The greens are different. And, of course, between golf courses day to day, they could be totally different. You could be playing in North Carolina, and the next day you're down in South Myrtle Beach. So what I did is the first year I was dead last after day 1. So pressure's gone. So I had to start learning what I did. And I thought about my first day, and I went to the driving range, and I beat balls for like 45 minutes. And then I went to the putting green, and I had putted for 30 minutes, and I had chipped for 10, 15 minutes. And it's totally not what I do on a normal basis. It's not what I do when I go to the golf course. It's not what I do when I go to these little tournaments here or there. I totally was out of what I did. So the next day I went in there and I said, I'm just going to go hit my 20 golf balls. My 5 drivers, my 5 3-woods, my 5 7s, and my 5 pitching wedges, as in walk away.
Yeah.
And then go putt, because that's where the money's at. The putting and the chipping is the money.
Yeah.
You can't practice enough. So I got better. I ended up placing 24th out of 60, but I was dead last after day 1 the first year. So I felt like that was a win.
Right.
But the next time I went back, I had a game plan. It was totally different. I understood what was going on there. I understood how to check in. I understood what the 19th hole was about, which we can talk about, which is phenomenal. It makes the tournament so much nicer for a lot of folks. But I had a game plan. My 20 golf balls is the answer. My breakfast, I knew where I was going to go for breakfast every day. I ate breakfast at the same place every day. My clothes were laid out that when I got on the plane or when I got there, my clothes were ready for every day. I never had to think again. I just got to get up on time, shower, get dressed, and go. Plot out the courses so I knew that I was going to be there no more than 45 minutes early, because otherwise I'd be tempted to go try to improve.
Right. Yeah.
It's too late. It can't prove once you're already
you're
at the
not
tournament.
trying. You don't go there to. You're not trying to fix something in your game at that time.
Right.
All you're doing is going to get loose, to get hit some balls, get loose, get ready to play.
That's right, and that's really something I learned. I didn't know that. I got out there and oh my gosh, I'm hitting the ball to the right really hard. I'm really cutting it today, and I got to fix it before I get on the course. And I can't do that. It's too late.
Yeah.
You're already
just
entered
play
in the tournament.
just play that cut. That's the shot you're going to play that day.
So now I go out, and most of the time when I hit on the range, I just hit the ball and I go off feel. I don't even watch the flight because I don't care. I want to loosen my back up, my neck up, and I want to be able to get through the ball completely. And as long as I do that, when I get on the first tee, I'm a lot calmer. And there's just so many things that I learned. Extra pair of shoes in the bag, extra pair of socks in the bag, because you're going to get rained on or you're going to be in blistering heat. You're going to want to change. You're going to want to have all these things available. And I learned all that the first year, and I took all those. And now when I go back every year, I learn a little bit more about what makes that tournament, makes it better for me, because I'm going there to compete. I'm not going there to enjoy myself.
Right.
Although there is a Just for Fun group that just go there. They pay the same money. They just go out and they play golf and they have a great time. And that may be great for some people.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to do. I want to go compete. I want to go back next year and I want to compete again. I'd love to win again, and I'd love to be, now that I know what the fifth day is like, I want to be prepared for the fifth day.
Yeah.
Well,
people don't realize that, dude, when you're playing 4 days of golf, that and especially in that heat there, it's a different heat than here.
Yes.
I mean, when I played the national championship for the Golf Channel in Tampa in August, it was ridiculous.
Yes.
It was so hot and humid and draining that wears on you. And when you're doing that for 4 days in a row, not only physically, but mentally, you're getting drained because you're grinding. You're trying to win a golf tournament, and that can wear you down. Yeah. And to do it 5 days in a row. So, so the 4 days, if you win your flight, then on the fifth day, you get to compete against all the flight winners for the main championship. That's correct. That main championship is handicap, right?
Yes. Everybody's handicapped.
Okay.
Except for the championship flight, the people who don't carry a handicap or don't want to play to their handicap, they just want to play
gross.
So, yeah, that was a whole new thing for me. I didn't honestly, when I went there, I thought I was pretty ready. I didn't think I was this ready. It was as much of a shock to me come the third day that I was, or even looking at the fourth day. I was 3 strokes down on going into the last day.
Dude, it was so awesome though when you texted me and told me where you were at in the tournament. And I just remember what I told you. I said, just act like you're playing me. Just like you're playing me like you did. You beat me at Makale and rubbed it in my face. Just act like you're playing me, and that's what you're going to do again.
Yeah, that was it was, and I texted you because you were somebody that I have a lot of respect for in golf, and as a person too as well. But the more I get to know you, the more the person comes through. Right now, in the beginning, it's more about how do I respect the way a person acts on a golf course, how they carry themselves, and how they treat me and how they treat others.
Yeah. So
I have a lot of respect for you, and I have a lot of respect for your game. So, and then that's why I'm so competitive with you. You may not notice that I'm competitive.
Oh, I got it now.
I used you as a way to gear up for this tournament because you're a much better golfer by handicap. 2 or 3 strokes dropping as a single digit handicap down to where you are, that's going to be a lot more commitment that I don't know that I have the time for right now to work at it to become a 1 handicap or a 2 handicap. But for me, you have been the reason it's so important to me to play you and to play well against you. It's not about beating you. Yes, it feels good. But if I can keep that pressure on myself to try to get better to beat you, which I have to work at 18 holes, anywhere from 76 to 80 shots, I have to work. That makes me ready for that tournament. That's the only thing I had.
And I'm the same exact way as you because there was a guy, he was younger than me. He was my roommate, Mike Garlock. We called him Gars. He was, he played high school golf. He was a great player. This kid was really, really good. And he ended up being my roommate, and we played golf all the time. And that was the guy that I wanted to beat. And that's what I strive to do. And that's all the time I put into it, the practice and the work and all that stuff he was the one pushing me to get better.
That's right.
And I think everybody needs something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm dealing with the same situation right now with a buddy of mine just joined the club I work at, Joe P. This guy he's good. He's really good. We play for this championship belt on Sundays. It's called the FIA Championship. And I've had the belt for about 4 or 5 weeks. And 2 weeks ago, he whipped me and took it. And he whipped me again last week. And Chris Wright came close to getting him. Joe P shot 69. Chris shot 71. We're not going to talk about what I shot, but it wasn't even close to that. So he's rekindled that. Not only him, but you too. You win in the World Am, lit me up. Now it's like, I want to beat you because you're the World Am champ. That is a great accomplishment. People don't realize how hard that is to do. Even just to win your flight, it's tremendously hard to do.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you had a hole-in-one on the 17th hole, bro.
On the last day, yeah.
On the last day. You were 4 shots down going in the last day, and then
3 or 4.
Or 3 shots down.
3 shots down, yeah. And I was looking at a smooth 82 if I parred out, and I aced number 17 and got a nice 80 out of the day. So
That's
felt
awesome.
good. I mean, it was
and then you end up winning, what, by 2?
by 2 strokes, yeah.
So basically that ace kind of won it for you, right? What did he shoot on that hole?
On that hole?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That day he was
Oh, he probably wasn't. Sorry, he wasn't probably even playing in your group. Yeah,
that was the other thing about this year is they didn't reflight everybody on the last day because of COVID. We just kind of they preset everything so nobody had to jockey around on the.
So
last
you always
day.
played with the same guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, that kind of sucks because you want to be in the same group with somebody who's leading. Like if he's leading and you're down by 2, you want to be in his group so you know what he's doing and what you have to do.
yeah, because I had the early tee time. I was out at I was I think the fourth person or fourth group out on that day, so I had to wait, and I was running the skins game too for the flight. So I was getting everybody's scores that were coming in, and people were talking that I can't remember the guy's name now. It's not that important, but they were talking about how they'd seen him hit a really good shot in. So I'm sitting there paying out, figuring out skins and stuff thinking, man, I just blew it shooting an 80, but hey, I got a hole in one,
Right.
and to me that was a win. I didn't expect that he would have the day that he had, because he didn't play as well as he should have. He was pushing up against his handicap all week long, though. That was his big demise on the last day, I believe. I think it got into his head because I think he had been pulled off and talked to that you're pushing the limits of the algorithm that allows you to stay in this flight. And I think they did dock him 1 stroke, or didn't dock him a stroke. They decreased his handicap by 1 on day 2 because he was shooting so well.
That's another thing about this tournament. If you think that you're going to come in and sandbag and say that you are a 14 handicap or a 12 handicap, and you come into this tournament and you shoot 75, 76, you're going to be out of that flight and into another flight. They don't mess around, do they?
Go play the just for fun tournament. Yeah, don't even mess with it. You can't shoot your handicap. I mean, you can, but you better not blow it out of the water. They really do. They disqualify people if it's so gross of an infraction, or they feel that it's so gross of an infraction. They're gonna cut you loose, and there's no refunds, and you're gonna pay for it. I mean, that's the way it is. Or they will adjust your handicap, and they'll adjust it all the way back to day 1 if they do it on day 4 because of your gross out of tolerance, basically, of your handicap.
Right.
So yeah, there's no sandbagging, and there's always people that are mad. I mean, there's people that are mad that they got disqualified or they didn't win because they got their handicap adjusted. It's an algorithm. I'm not going to lay off my best round of my life, and if I get DQ'd, I get DQ'd.
Yeah.
I'm there to play golf the best I can play it. And if the algorithm shows that they use shows that I'm outside of my handicap, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Well, I think what they do, though, in instances like that, I think they look back at your gen, they go through your history and see the scores that you've posted.
Yeah, it's all part of the algorithm that they use it.
Yeah.
But
So it's not like, everybody can have a career day. Somebody can go out there, a 5 handicap can go out there and shoot 70 or 69. Is he going to do it 4 days in a row? No. And if he does, then he's not a 5 or 6
not
handicap.
at this tournament. They're not going to.
No, no.
They may do it, but they're not going to be playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great tournament. I mean, there's no better bang for the buck that I found. And trust me, I play as much tournament golf as I can. You know, I try not to miss any of the VGAs, and I did the Golf Channel AM in the past, Golf Week AM. So to me, there is nothing better. You're not going to spend a better $550 to get into this tournament and eat for free every night and drink for free if you're a drinker at the 19th hole. All the giveaways. I mean,
they have a ton of giveaways.
Yeah,
I won like a limo ride and rounds of golf, and I was flying back, and I had I ended up winning a big bottle of Grey Goose, and I sold it to some guy at the airport. So I'm like, hey, I'll sell this to you cheap. You want it? Because I can't take it on. I'm not taking it on the plane with me.
Yeah, so they gave out I think $25,000 worth of golf equipment and accessories, basically, you know, range finders, putters, you name it. They've given it out every year, and I've never been fortunate enough to win any of the raffles, but I sure enjoy going to them.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm not a drinker, so the 19th hole and the drinking side of it doesn't. But my wife went with me one year, and boy, she had a ball. I mean, just, you know, we had a really good time going to all the different little eateries and get your little plate and then go stand in line, eat that one while they're getting another one.
Yeah, yeah.
It was so much fun, you know, and she's been really, really good for my game. She got me to.
Does she play too?
She has taken some lessons, actually. We got her some lessons when we were in Oklahoma, and she's really, really good, but she doesn't like to play around other people. That's the way she is. You can't change that. But when we were in Arkansas and I was really trying to gear up and play better, we'd go chip and putt. And I probably chip and putt as good as I do because of her. Because she can do things for hours that you don't think you want to do.
Yeah, right.
It was so much fun. We'd turn the headlights on the truck and shine them down on the 18th hole and just sit out there and chip and putt for, you know, a couple hours sometimes.
Yeah.
2-3 hours sometimes. And just, she's been a big, big supporter, whether she knows it or not, because of the things that she does. So she allows me to do. You know, she allows me to. I guess I'm whooped. I guess, you know, I'm not gonna. If my wife says you're not gonna golf today, I'm not gonna golf today. You know, but she's not like that. So I'm pretty fortunate with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of tournaments, we got a big one coming up next week, and we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about that one. So stand by, everybody. We'll be back. This podcast is brought to you by Smart Boy Studios, the best studio and artist collective out of the state of Ohio. Smart Boy Studios provides recording, mixing, and mastering services, as well as any other audio post-production you need. Whether you're looking to put out a new single, put together an audio book for your bestseller, or make your podcast the best it can be, visit www.smartboystudios.com today. DeCasso, an artist on Smart Boy Entertainment, just dropped his new album, Suburban King, The Story of Westerly Drive. Available on all streaming platforms now. Physical copies are also available on the Smart Boy Studios website. The album features Grammy-nominated writer Troy Hayes, music from all Smart Boy Entertainment producers, and some of the best vocal talent from the Midwest. Suburban King tells the story of DeCasso's youth, moving from the inner city to a suburban neighborhood, and the trials and tribulations of adolescence, racism, and adapting to a new environment. Search DeCasso, that's DCASSO, on your favorite streaming platform, or visit www.smartboystudios.com to check it out. If you'd like to support Smart Boy Studios and their artists, visit threads.smartboystudios.com to check out their merch. They have hoodies, hats, shirts, and more. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, Dan, when we left off, we were talking, we have a big tournament coming up this weekend. Next weekend, next Saturday. We both play on the VGA, Veterans Golfers Association. Like you said, you were in the Army, I was in the Army. And our state tournament is coming up this weekend. And we were supposed to go to Kapalua on Maui, but due to the COVID situation, nobody wants to quarantine, so they moved it from Kapalua to here on Oahu at Ko'olina. You ready for this weekend?
Yeah, I'll let you hold my trophy when we're done.
Hey, they're nice trophies. Have you seen them?
I have, yeah. I'm looking forward to putting that on my shelf.
I got a spot right over there next to that other VGA trophy. I'm going to put it in.
Well,
but I'll let you come over and look at it every once in a while.
I'll be happy to.
Yeah, but no, it'll be a good tournament.
Yeah, I think Colina is a really great course. It doesn't play to me. I mean, it's a little bit more of a carry course, and of course, I don't hit the ball as far as you. But I'm going to bring everything I can bring. I mean, if you can give me 5 extra clubs, I'll go get 5 extra clubs and bring them too. But no, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. It's the VGA. We got a bunch of great guys, and it's a good tournament or tour because we play a bunch of different tournaments throughout the year, and it's usually what's it run usually from like March to August usually.
Yeah, I don't know. This is my first year here, so
yeah, I think it's not like on the Golf Channel. We started in October, and we would go until August when the state championship or when the national championship was.
Yeah.
Or September, and then we would start the new season in October when we came back. But this one's a little bit shorter. It's not as many tournaments, but Richard Shepard is the executive director, and I'm hoping to have him on the podcast to talk about the tournament and the stuff that's coming up this weekend. We were talking about this earlier today at the course. There's only a few of us in the seniors. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just got into the seniors because I wasn't old enough before. You've been in it for 4 or 5 years probably. But I have to have somebody to play against. If I'm the only guy in the senior A flight, what's the point? I want to play against somebody. I want competition. So I know originally you were in the senior B flight, but you wanted to play against people too. So you moved up to the A flight.
Yeah, I like I told you before, it's been every tournament that I play is a stepping stone for one thing, and that's the World Am. I'm already geared up for next year, but yeah, I wanted to play,
and I'm going with you next year, so
I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I want to play against somebody that's going to challenge me, and I'm not saying that B players don't, because I am a B player. That's what my handicap says I am. Mm-hmm. But I want to get better.
Oh, I think you're better than a B player. And that may just because you're where your handicap's at, but you're better than that. You're a better player than that, obviously.
Well, thank you. My wallet says differently today.
Well, today.
But we'll get that back. I got that from
I was
other
say,
VGA members over on Maui.
Yeah, you won yesterday. So. Who was over there playing?
Wade, Craig, Shep, and I. We played Kapalua.
Oh, Shep went over.
Yeah. We went out there and played over there.
Okay.
Well, I was over there working, and I just happened to have the afternoon to play. So, yeah, it was a good time. But, it's you got to play against somebody that's better, and that's me. I wanna go against the biggest guy in the room. I'm not going to win as often, but to me, the winning is how my game felt. The score's important. Yeah, I lose money. It is what it is. But did I execute my shots right as best I could all day? Did I play good on my shots? But mentally, I keep saying that a lot in this, don't I? But the mental part of this game is phenomenal. I just can't get over just the thought of picking a point in the sky and saying I got to hit that cloud to get to go to the green or miss it or however you want to look at it. The mental part of it, the only way you keep in it, at least for me, I'm a little ADD, I guess, but is that I got to have something always pushing me. By nature, I'm competitive, and I don't like to lose, but I'm not going to throw things and cry about it. But I do like to have a challenge out there in front of me that I'm going to go get.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Couldn't tell.
Do you think that the mental game is more than what the physical part of the game is? Do you think so? In my opinion, I say the physical game, 5% physical and 95% mental.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the numbers, but I do agree that, 95% is mental for sure, because physically you're going to do what you can do. Our bodies are still what they are, and we're going to, some of us are some of you are more talented at a golf swing, or you have a better golf swing. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but if you can't make a choice that you commit to a shot, or you let a shot go, it's pretty hard to continue on and play golf, right? I mean, so the mental part is letting those scars go. I mean, it's important.
Yeah, you gotta. We were talking about this briefly earlier, but you gotta. It's fine to get mad about a shot that you mess up, but let it go. Yeah. Don't. By the time you leave that hole and go to the next tee box, it should be gone. You shouldn't even be thinking about it.
Yeah, because you drag it into the next fairway, you're already 4 or 5 shots away from it. You've already lost it. I mean, you have to let it go, and we all struggle with it. I know that. Some people are better at it, and some people are just horrible at it. But at the same point, we have to let it go.
Yeah,
it's not that important. I mean, us playing golf and a 5-5-5 game or a $20 loss on a day. If that's gonna not pay my mortgage, I shouldn't be playing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not that important to me. The $5 or the $20 that I may have to put out of pocket, or whatever it is. If I was man enough to say I'm going to pay it, I'm going to pay it. It shouldn't be raining on my head so hard that affects me, but it should give me enough to stay in it.
Yeah, that's why I've told people that if you and I are going to go out and play a round of golf, I don't care if it's $1. I want to play for something, because that keeps me in the game. It keeps me focused. Otherwise, if I hit a bad shot, or if I'm not really concentrating on hitting a good shot, who cares? Because there's nothing on the line other than I'm going to lose to you, or you're going to shoot a better score. Right. So if I have some type of incentive that keeps me focused on what I need to do, even like I said, if it's only $1, it's $1. It's making me play for something and not just out there whacking it around.
That's right. And Tom, I think our boy Tommy says it best. There's nothing better than Murph money. It don't matter. It don't matter if it's 50 cents or if it's $50. There is nothing better than Murph money.
Our boy Tommy, he is a treat.
He is.
Tommy, if you're listening to this, we love you, buddy, and We'll see you this weekend. Hopefully, you're able to make it up out of bed and come play golf. He's going to be mad when he finds out that we played golf today and he wasn't invited.
Well, there was an age limit.
That's right. That's right. There was an age limit. We're going to wrap this up shortly, but before we go, you got any advice for people that are thinking about playing golf, or that are playing golf and are having some issues with some things?
Well, I guess the only thing I say is, the chipping and the putting, you can drive the ball 400 yards, and that's great. But if you can't get it in the hole, you got to work on your chipping. You got to work on your putting. I mean, work at it. It's not, you may go out there and one day putt the eyes out and the next day not. You got to figure out how to get it back in the hole. So to me, the biggest improvement in my game has, like I told you, my wife got me out there and chipped and putted because she enjoyed doing it. So it was something we could do together. And I really didn't like to get beat by her. So, because even though, have I told you I'm competitive?
Just slightly.
Okay, yeah. So,
I've seen that.
Yeah, so like you told me today, you guys got lockjaw or whatever you said, and
when I had that 2-inch putt and nobody said it's good,
I'm not one to utter those words. That's it's down and in the hole. That's the way it is. But
that's the way it's supposed to be played. You're right.
Yeah. So
I putted it.
You did.
And I was just messing with you guys, actually.
It lipped around the hole just beautiful, too. So. But, so I think, if you got to decide what you want to do with golf. If you want to just go play golf and have fun, then that's what it is. But if you really want to get better, I think you have to come up with a plan. I think that's what worked for me anyway, is I came up with a plan. Maybe not to the extent that I did, but my engineering mind works that way. I have to break it down to understand the whole concept before it even makes sense on the outside. So the chipping, the putting, getting those under control, distance is overrated. I mean, yes, it is easier to hit a 9-iron into a par 4 than a 7-iron. But realistically, if you can hit a 7-iron just as good as you hit your 9-iron, what difference does it make what you're hitting?
Exactly.
So I used to be that guy that was really really get upset that every day I'd go out. And I still talk trash about it all the time. Yeah, guys are playing in a different zip code. But I'm right there with you on the scorecard, and that's what really matters.
Exactly.
And I guess to me, what really matters is, did I play the best that I could play? Did I keep my head in it? Did I hit the balls, the shots that I wanted to? Did I let you guys get me out of my game by trying to stretch it, right? But the advice to me, to everybody that ever plays golf is spend the $400 on a putter. Don't spend it on a driver.
Yeah.
Spend it on a putter. Get a good set of wedges that fit, that makes sense. You know, my wedges, like I told you before, my things are all crazy. My wedges are 3 degrees flat because I like to use a putter stroke when I'm around the greens, which works well for me.
Right. Yeah, you are a good chipper.
So I tend to want to flatten it out a little bit. So I'm 3 degrees flat on that, and I'm 2 degrees flat on everything else in the bag. But there was a reason for it, right? So around the green is where you make the money. I mean, that's really where the scoring is. I mean, I can miss greens all day long, but if I can chip and putt, I'm still making par. It's easier to make par when you have 2 putts at it, but if you can chip, you can still make pars.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that's what I always said. It's fine. It's great to hit a ball 300 yards or whatever, but you know the saying, drive for show, putt for dough.
Yep.
You got to work on your short game, and I've preached that to everybody I talk that asks me about golf, and I've asked what I should do to get better. That's what you should do. Work on your short game. You can go to the range and hit a bucket of balls, but don't spend your entire time doing that.
Yeah.
Spend the majority of time chipping and putting. That's where you're going to get better. That's where your scores are going to start dropping. Yeah. Is when you start getting better at chipping and putting. Because like you said, if you miss a green on your approach shot and you can chip and putt, you're going to make par. 9 times out of 10, you're going to make par if you can chip and putt, if you've been working on that. Yeah. If you haven't, you're going to be like Tiger the other day when he went to hit that little chip just short of the green and didn't even get it on the green. Right. And then putted it. Yeah. So I'm just kidding, though. Tiger's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't deny that. I mean, anybody that denies that is a fool. But, you know, I think one of the greatest training aids I've ever got is that Orange Whip swinger. Yeah. Orange Whip trainer. I've been using it now for about 3 months, and my drives are better, right? And I'm not hitting balls on the range. You know, I'm not. You guys, you see me at golf tournaments, I'll go hit a few, or sometimes I don't even hit any balls. I just swing the Orange Whip and get loosened up, because that's really where, I told you before, that's what I do. But I'll spend my time at the range. But so you don't even have to hit balls to really get longer or get a better swing, right? With the right training aid, as long as you know what you're trying to feel. But yeah, the putting, man, if you can go spend 75% of your time around the chipping and the putting green, you're going to be so much better golfer. I mean, it's going to drop your score. It did mine. And yeah, I can go out and shoot 90 tomorrow, but I can also follow that up with a 73.
Right. That's what it is. And speaking of which, what's the lowest round you ever shot?
I shot 72 one time.
Okay, now my next question is this, and I was asked by a buddy the same question. Do you think that you have shot your lowest round of golf?
No. Absolutely not. That's 72. I still had stuff in the bag. I mean, it wasn't a pretty 72. It was a scrambling 72. You know, a lot of greens missed. Usually in the fairway, but just a lot of iron issues, right? Mm-hmm. And when I had my simulator up and I was able to work at that, my irons were better than they are now, because I don't go work on them as much as I should. I will, starting in January, I'll start preparing again for the World Am and probably hit, 30 minutes a day down there. Just hit a 9 iron, and the next day an 8 and 7 and so on. But no, I haven't hit my lowest round. I mean, my lowest round in tournament play is 74. And I did that at the World Am, which was another accomplishment, right? Because tournament play is different than hitting it with a ball.
Oh, it's way different.
So to me, that's really the low score number that I hold the proudest is that I shot a 74. But it was in a tournament atmosphere with all the pressure, strangers, and a lot on the line. You don't win millions of dollars to win it, but a trophy is a lot to me. Yeah. A lot.
Yeah, you got when you won that, you got a trophy, and you also got a
$600 gift card to PGA Superstore.
PGA Superstore.
Yeah.
That's not a bad gig.
No, I mean, if you look at the whole trip, right, it's $550 for the tournament. You get about a $250 to $325 gift basket when you get there, which is a $20 gift card for a PGA Superstore in that. And then you get the 19th hole, the free food, the free drinks, and man, what a good time. There's games
That's
there
awesome.
and all kinds of stuff. So really,
was
Charlie golf for zero.
Was Charlie Reimer there again this year?
Absolutely. He's there every year.
Yeah. He's there interviewing people and stuff. That's pretty cool too.
Katrick and McInnes was there. What's her name? Holly. That's
Holly from
golfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so it's and they're hilarious. It's just sitting in the 19th hole watching them up on stage and the bantering that goes on and off, and what's neat about the 19th hole is you're there. I've been there three times, and guys come up to me and say, "Hey Dan, how you doing?" Or, "Hey, I played with you 2 years ago. Remember me?" And you look at them, you're like, "Yeah, I remember you." And then you're off. They're having drinks or whatever, and I'm having my water, and we're just talking and reminiscing, and like we're best friends,
Yeah.
But you build a lot of relationships in the golf industry or the golf industry too, because there's a lot of guys that are out there playing. They're in the industry,
right?
That are reps or they have their own design. I got a couple of little putting aids at home that I bought from guys that I played with. Because it's their business, and I like to support that.
Yeah,
ingenuity is great.
Yeah, and I like I said, I only played on it one time, but I had the similar experience when I played the Golf Channel National Championship, because I went to that a few years, 3 or 4 years. So there were guys that I saw that I played with the year before or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, how's it going? Good seeing you." I didn't play with them again, but they were they were playing at the same time I was playing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to meet new people like that.
It is. And you get when it was pre-COVID, right? And you could go out and eat, or you could go out even outside just to have a really good time. Yeah, the golf's important, but it's my man vacation a year. My wife is always welcome to go, and I love it when she goes. She doesn't go to the golf course. She just kind of likes to hang out at the hotel or whatever. We stay at a resort, but it's fun,
Yeah,
it's fun, and it's what I want to do. I want to play tournament golf and get better. And the way I do that is I try to beat on you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do that this coming weekend. So You're going to try to beat on me, and I'm going to try to beat on you, the world amateur champion of his flight this year, which is an amazing accomplishment. Congratulations again, Dan. Thank you for hooking me up with your vehicle this week while mine was down. Thank you for coming over here tonight, fixing my vehicle for me.
Oh, come on.
Like I said, I feel bad taking money from you today. After I left, I thought about that. I was like, shit, why did I take his money? He let me use his truck all week. I need to just give him his money back.
You couldn't stop me from giving you my money.
But
we made a play.
What made me feel better about it was when you told me it was just the money that you took off of those guys over on Maui. So it wasn't even your money. It was actually their money. So I didn't feel as bad then.
It was. They paid me well to play golf with them. I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, I will see you this weekend, this Saturday. And hey, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for listening to Dan and his story about the World Amateur Handicap Championship Tournament, which I will be joining him next year in. If you guys have any questions or comments, or you want us to cover any certain topics, shoot me an email at murphsplace808@gmail.com, or you can go to the Anchor website and leave me a voice message on my page. That's murphsplace808@gmail.com. Also, there's a tab on there if you'd like to support the channel. Any help would be appreciated to keep this podcast going and to bring guests like Dan and other guys. And like I said, hopefully we'll get Richard in here and we'll talk about the VGA state tournament coming up this weekend. So thank you guys again. I hope everybody has a great night, and we will see you next time.